support material for homework 5B, working with computation with decimals. We got 53.9 anchoring our addition. And then down here we put our decimal. To the left we only have 0, and then we've got 78.01. If you want, you're welcome to put zeros, 3 of them, after the 9. They're not necessary to get the job done, but they can help some people, because these are being added. We got 1, we got 0, we got 8. Finally we get 16 that carries 1 and 3 to make 4, and 54.6801. It's a little more than the 53 we started with, as it should be. Next we got 24. I'm going to put a decimal point behind it. Then we got a decimal where 19 is in front of it, 9 and then a 1 as we work our way out. 0, 0, 4, 3, setting up how many spaces we need. Then we have another decimal. In front of it is a 1, and behind it is 517. You may find it helpful to put a 0 behind the 7 and 4 zeros behind the 24 point. Now, when we go to add these up, every column has a place to work. We may have some carrying, we'll see. 3, 4 and 7 makes 11, carry the 1 there to get 2. 0, 0 and 5 makes 5. 4 and 9 is 13 and 1 for 14. Add 1 to that. 1 and 2 for 3. 1 more for 4. And we are done at 44.5213. Subtraction. Watch carefully on this one. We got 29.6. And below it we have 19.788. Now we do need zeros, because you cannot just tack digits into empty space. We need the zeros representing what's going to happen here, because we're about to do our subtraction. But I built the 29.6, then I put the decimal point followed by 788 with the 19 in front of it, and they're aligned in columns. 0 minus 8 can't happen, 0 minus 8 can't happen, 6 minus 7 is eventually not going to happen, but we'll turn the 6 now at 60 into 50 and 10. Turn that 100 into 90 and 10. 10 minus 8 is 2, 9 minus 8 is 1, 5 minus 7 still cannot happen. So we take this 90 and 5, we turn into 80 and 15. 15 minus 7, do you know it's 8? 3 more gets you 8 minus 0. Decimal. 8 minus 9 can't happen, so I'm going to turn the 20 into 10 and 18. 18 minus 9, do you know that's 9? 1 more on the 9, 1 more on the 8. And then 1 minus 1 means no action in front of that 9, and we've got 9.812. Here's a similar situation. We've got an 8 with a decimal point behind it. For subtraction, we have a point with a 0 in front of it, and 4, 4, and 3 behind it. We must insert the zeros to have places to work with in those digits. 0 minus 3, we can't take from 0, can't take from 0. We turn this 80 into 70 and 10. We turn this 100 into 90 and 10. We turn this 100 into 90 and 10. Now 10 minus 3 is 7, 9 minus 4 is 5, 9 minus 4 is 5. Here's my decimal, 7 minus 0. 75.57. There you go. Now this one is a little challenging, because it's got 3 terms and it's trying to do subtraction. Can't really do that. So I'm going to insert my plus signs here. And now I'm going to tell you that we have 95.2 as our positive, plus we have these two guys that are negative. We have negative 22.02 plus negative 0.474. These two work together. So over here, I'm going to go 22.02 and 0.474. Maybe put the 0 there if you need it. 494 decimal point 22. This creates a new situation. 95.2 is positive, plus we have a negative value, right? The two negatives added together get me the 22.494. And they're all negative. What does that create? It creates this. 95.2 subtracting 22.04 0.494. Once again, you must have the zeros to fulfill, or to fill up, I should say, to fill up our digits to allow them to work. 0 can't work, 0 can't work. We got to turn this 20 into 10 and 10. But before that happens, we've got to turn this 10 into 9 and this 100 into 9, b and 10. 10 minus 4 for 6, 9 minus 9 for 0. 1 minus 4 can't happen, so we've got to turn that into 40 and 11. 11 minus 4 is 7. How do I know that? 6 more there for 10, 6 more there for 17, here comes 7. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 9 minus 2 is 7. 72.706 is where this round up. So we've got 60, we've got 0.003. The only thing that happens here is after we put our 0 for 3 times zeros, we put 3 times 6, we get what looks like 180. But we owe them 1, 2, 3 decimal places. That's not a 3. That owes 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Therefore, we owe them 3 decimal places. And we get 0.180. Now you can see the 3 decimal places that we gave them. We might write it as 0.18. That's fine. But the fact is, the only multiplication fact I needed to know here was 6 times 3. And then I had to say, my 180 is 3 digits too big. Let me get it back down using the moving of the decimal. Those are called orders of magnitude. Some multiplication here. 4 times 3 gets me 12. 10 from the 12 is there. 4 times 9 gets me 36. Pick it up for 37. Park the 7 and bring the 3 from 37 right there. 4 times 7 is 28. Pick up the 3 for 31. Park the 1. Bring the 3 from 31 right here. 4 times 2 gets me 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. No more digits to conquer, so I write the 11. This is looking like 11,172. And that's what it would be if this was 2,793, but I owe them 2 digits. I got 27 instead of 2,700. And I owe them a digit. I don't have a 4, I have 0.4. I owe 1, 2, 3 digits. So I need this to be smaller 1, 2, 3 times. With those digits that I have, 11.172. What happens is multiplying a decimal by 27 will bring me a number smaller than 27. So there's no way I'm getting 111. And also it doesn't drive it down small enough to bring it down to near 1. 11.172 will do it for us. 63.1 times 0.01. 1 times 1, 1 times 3, 1 times 6. Looking like I have 631. However, I owe them a digit here. I have 63 instead of 631. And I owe them 2 digits where I have 0.01 instead of 1. I owe 1 digit and 2 more. I owe 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. Right there, I have 0.631. 6, 3, and 1 stayed as digits, but they were made much smaller when I divided them by 100, which is the effect of multiplying by 0.01. So we'll erase and we'll come back up here to problem number 9 in a minute. Decimal division up next. I'm going to put my that's already a whole number, so I don't have to adjust. I'm going to put my decimal right up above behind the 3. So 6 has a single 4 in it. In the tens place, I'll put a 1. 1 times 4 gets me subtracting down to 2. Bring it down, 23. It's not 24, so I'm going to use a 5, not a 6. 5 times 4 is 20. That gets me 3.7. So 37 is what I'm thinking of, and I'm looking at that's probably a 9. So I go 9 times 4 gets me 36, and that gets me 1. Now, what do? I don't want to put remainder 1, I want to bring 0 in the hundreds place and make a 10. 10 has 2 4s in it, which will get me 2 times 4 for 8. Subtraction will get me 2, bring down 1 more 0. That there, and that's going to get me 5. Subtraction gets me 0. I get 15.925. And that's over. 2 divided by 80, a lot of people think, oh, 80 divided by 2, that's 40. That's not where this is going. What we have here is 2 with a decimal point, which is too small to divide by 80. How about 20 when I throw 2.0 at it? No. 200, now I can start having something there. I have 0 in the tenths place, but in the hundredths place I can start to get something. what I want to do is take my 20 and divide by 8. I think I'm going to get 2 of them. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 8 is 16. That'll get me 0. Now, from here, I got to take my 20 down to 10 and 10. 10 minus 6 gets me 4 to create a 40, which is positive and smaller than 80. The 2 is good. Another 0. So 2 has become 2.000 in order to get this job done, but here it is. I have 400 divided by 80. It's like 40 divided by 8. I throw a 5 on there, and let's see. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 8 is 40. Nice. 0.025. Now I'm getting to this division by powers of 10. We've got 16.92 divided by 0.001. What I need to do is multiply the bottom by 1,000 to make it a whole 1. Multiply the top by 1,000. The bottom becomes 1, and the top becomes 2 decimal moves, makes me 1692, and the third 0 makes me have 16920, 16,920. Dividing by thousands is like smashing 1,000 pieces out of each one of those, and it makes a much larger number of how many pieces we have here. 0.218 divided by 100. So what we have here now is 0.218 divided by 100. I'll start with my decimal point there. And 2 cannot divide by 100. 21 can't divide by 100, but I do have 2 of them when I look at 218. So I go on ahead here and I go 200. I get 18 left. Let me throw a 0 on there for the 10,000ths place. But anyway, a 0. That'll help me make 180. There is 1 right here. 1 times 100 will get me 100. Drawing up an 80, 1 more 0 will draw me up to get this to be 800, and I'll get 0.002180. Because dividing that thing by 100 made it smaller twice by its decimal movers. And I'm not trying to say move left, move right, and have you memorize it. I want us to understand what we're doing here. So here we have 68.573 divided by 1,000. So I'll put my decimal point there. 668 and 685 cannot divide by 1,000. So I need to go to where the 7 is. This 7 is located in the hundredths position. And there I'll find 6 of them. 6,000. Subtract, I'll get 857. I'll bring down the 3, and I'll get 8 of them. 8,000. Get 573. I need a 0 to make 5,730. So I'll be able to put 5 of them in here. 730. Bring down a 0 for that. Right? This 0 here, this 0 here. 7 takes off the 7,000. 300. Bring down 1 more 0. And 3,000. Answer when we get 0 remainder is 0.068573. What happened there? It made it smaller by 3 decimal moves. The first 2 got me past the 6th. The third one had me create 0.068573. Now we have to round 7.8 repeating to the thousands place. So I will do that down here. 7.8888. The thousandth place is right here. Tens, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. That may or may not change. What I do is I look at the 88 and I say that looks like 90. So now I'm thinking I have 7.8890, and it doesn't want anything written there, so it's 7.889. But I can see 88 is closer to 90 than it is to 80, which is why that third 8 became 88, making 90. I don't put the 0 after, so it ends in the right location. They want me to take 5832, 832, 832, and round that. So let's see, 5.832, 832, because we have more than we need here, to the hundredths place, which is right here. So now I'm looking at this 32, and I'm deciding that's like a 30, so not like a 40. So I go 5.8, that stays the same, and then I go 30, drop off the 0, and we're looking at 5.83. You can write as many as you need and extra, and and then locate where you're going to consider turning the 3 up to a 4 or not. 32 won't make 40, but 88 will make 90. They want me to do this work out and round to the tens place. They're not insisting that I take it all the way out to terminating or becoming a zero remainder. So I've got 68.5 over 4.1. Let's multiply top and bottom by tens. Full 685 divided by 41. You want a full integer for your division. Your divisor should be 51. And here we go, 685 with the decimal right there. 6 can't divide by 41, but there is one of them in 68. So I get my 41, come out of here with 27, bring down the 5, 275. 27 divided by 4, it's not a 7, I'm going to think about a 6. 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24. Can't do 5 minus 6, so 70 becomes 60 and 15. Right, the 75, 60, and 15. 15 minus 6, you got the 9. Or 4 more and 4 more, you get the 9. 6 minus 4 gets you 2. 29 is good, it's positive, and it's larger than the 41. So now I tack on a 0 for 685.0. Bring down the 0. So now I have 290. I'm trying to do 29 divided by 4. I'm thinking of a 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. And what does that do for me? Well, that gets me a 3. When I bring down another 0 for 685.00, I have 30. That cannot handle a 41, so I need to put a 0 there. Now I'm looking at 16.70. Does not at all look like 80, and it's going to be 70. I'm going to drop off the 0. I'm going to get 16.7 for my answer to that many places. And that'll wrap up homework 5.